Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's recording.
So I can cut out all the extra shit if necessary. But
who's a good boy? Craig Butt's a good boy.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. All right.
Scene.
I gotta get my.
How do we do this again?
I forget. Hold on. I gotta get my Arizona popped. You know.
Oh, I just got a notification from Twitch. Secondcitykids is live.
Hey, that's us.
Yeah, it is us. Well, it's me, but it's also us. It's weird. Weird things.
I'm gonna unsubscribe from this weirdo. No, okay.
She. Hold on. Let me get the. Just in case anybody follows or whatever. In the meantime, in between time. Alrighty. Are you guys ready to get this shit cracking?
I need a moment.
Oh, okay, fine. Sure.
He's doing a bio break.
Oh, okay.
That's what they call a poo-poo doo-poo.
Oh, okay. We don't got that kind of time, man.
Who do you think I am, Scott, that takes a 40-minute shit?
Maybe.
He literally went to go take a dump while we were watching a movie one night, and the movie ended.
That's sad, actually.
It's not like, bro, like your bowels don't move that slow. You just be sitting on there on your phone.
True.
Because you'll hear a every couple of minutes.
And then my phone goes off on Instagram.
True.
It's like, bro, just wipe. I don't know how y'all be sitting on the toilet for like 40 minutes. My legs start to like go numb.
Cramp up. Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, this is not good. And then you stand up and you like tip over into the tub, and now you got a shitty ass and you're in a tub. And no, just me. Okay.
One of these days he's gonna forget that he has a phone in his hand and he's gonna go to wipe and then accidentally wipe with his phone.
Oh man, what is wrong with y'all? Shit.
Shit.
Hold on. Oh, I should probably grab my beers. I'm gonna do that. Give me 1 second.
Great.
No, he's not ready.
Oh, is that the cherry apricot crap?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Oh, this guy.
You can tell he's excited.
Are we sponsored by them?
No way in hell are we sponsored by them.
What the hell?
Here
he's slamming.
Bro, you can get a coffin couch for $8,000.
What do you mean? Define coffin couch.
It's a coffin, and then it unfolds, and it's a couch.
Let me get my headphones back on.
Greg, you want to give me $8,000 for my birthday?
Oh, nice.
You see that coffin couch?
Yeah, I'll sell the S3.
Hell yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, bro, you can get it in red velvet? Fuck yes.
Oh.
Satin.
Oh, wait. All righty, you guys. Are we ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah, you go out here like screaming and slamming doors and grabbing beers and shit.
Well, no, I just want to show. I just want to show the people on Twitch if. Yeah, because it's like a visual. There's a visual element to this thing now.
I keep forgetting you're on Twitch.
Yeah, man. So there's a visual element to this now. So that's why I got to be able to have my stuff ready to go. But are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Excellent. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Secondcitykids podcast, episode number 160.
160.
We are back. I know it has been quite a long time, probably a month, I think, since the last episode, but that's okay. With quarantine and whatnot, we've mentioned this before. Not a whole lot to talk about these days, but that's okay. Like I said, we are indeed back. So, with that being said, we got some stuff to talk about today. I'm Jacob. I'm your host as normal, and I have my buddies here, and I want my buddies to go ahead and introduce themselves. Go ahead.
Yo, it's your boy Gabe over here. I'm always here. I hate it here.
Me, Greg. Me, horny.
Oh, okay. Nice. Excellent. Alrighty. So it has been a very long time since we've been on the air with these wonderful folks, and basically, how's the last month been for you guys?
Good. We drove 2,500 miles and came back home.
Oh, yeah. Talk about that a little bit. You guys want to talk about your trip at all?
Sure. Yeah. So we went out to Colorado. We went to Denver, did some hiking, got some tattoos. What else did we do? Ate some good food. We ate really fucking well, like too well almost.
Yeah. Went to some antique shops, got to some bookstores, went and smoked hookah at this really nice joint that apparently shut down, like literally, what was it, like a couple days later, which, because they weren't following precautions to COVID, which really sucked. Went to another joint, and that was pretty sketchy. Never would go back again. went to some outdoor malls, traveled around in the University of Boulder because, just kind of crying and weeping because the campus is gorgeous, and our school that we went to here in Chicago was
slightly bigger than my high school.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Well, there's that. Cool. I'm glad you guys had a good time.
This video isn't sponsored in any way, but shout out to Toyota for providing the 2020 Camry that somehow
we beat the fuck out of.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, good for them. Thanks, Toyota. We appreciate it. But before we get started to this agenda, we had a couple things to talk about. Well, number one on the notes is Grant Imahara. For those who don't know, he was from Mythbusters. Unfortunately, passed away. Quite sad because Grant was I think he was like one of the electrical specialists on the show.
The robot and electrical guy, yeah.
Yeah. And wasn't he a host on BattleBots or whatever too on Sci-Fi?
He was. And it just kind of sucks because, I know we all watched Mythbusters here growing up.
Yes, well, absolutely.
To a certain extent, it was easily one of the better programs on the Discovery Channel back in the day. And it just kind of sucks that a big piece of your childhood is gone. And I guess rest in peace, Mr. Imahara.
Absolutely. He was on Tabletop too for a little bit. He did a couple episodes on Tabletop where he was wonderful. Had a brain aneurysm. So it wasn't even something that we saw coming. It kind of just happened, which is very sad. So rest in peace, like Gabe said. Yeah, absolutely. Rest in peace, like Gabe said. He's wonderful. But I want to review my beers up at the top of the show. So I signed up for a service. It's called Taver. And I got a box of beers, right? So the subscription comes with 6 beers, but every other day they have a beer of the day that they release, and you can claim it and add it to your box if you want to. So that's what I did. All right, I added about 5 beers, so 11 beers total arrived at my house. All these beers come from smaller breweries, like microbreweries, all throughout the country. Okay, so I just kind of want to talk about it because I have a few here. I drank 2 of them so far. I'm not trying to go through them that quickly because I'm trying to savor them because some of these are really delicious. So I'm going to open up with one. Comes from a brewery. Let me look up the name. It should be right here somewhere. Where is it? At Brewery Viant in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It is called Cherry Apricot. I don't know if y'all can see that. Hold on, let me poke my head over there. Yeah, you guys can see it. All right. So Cherry Apricot. Okay. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a cherry apricot beer, sour. Delicious blend of fruited farmhouse ale and wood-aged sour ale. So this is the first one I tried. It's very, very good. All right. So I think me and Gabe have probably talked about this on the podcast before, but I am a big sour person, right? I love my sours, and this is right up my motherfucking alley. All right. So Unapologetic Fruit, I guess, is the name of the brand of beer or whatever, as far as the divisions or whatever. And it's delicious. So it has some great fruit notes in there. And I'm kind of very tart too. I like tart beers, sours. It is what it is. And it was very, very good. So that's the first one. All right. Cherry Apricot, Unapologetic Fruit. That's the first one. Now the second one, which I sent last night, is called Yacht Zombie Apocalypse. Okay. And it's also obviously a sour because that was my preference that I put. This is from Brooklyn, New York. It has a wonderfully designed can, as you guys can see. And it was also very, very good. Very tart as well. Sour ale, raspberry, blackberries, and peach and blood orange, all infused in this wonderful little beer. And very hot, that was more beery than the other one. It tasted more like beer, which is a good thing. And just phenomenal. Both of the beers so far have been really, very good. And I definitely would recommend. And it's, what the hell? And as far as they can't hear me. Who can't hear me? Sally can't hear me. Hold on. What happened? I'm not muted, am I? Oh, I am fucking muted. Damn it. Whatever. Whatever. I'm fixed now.
Twitch.
Yeah, I'm muted on Twitch. I'm good. Yeah, I'll be able to do that later. All right. Sorry. But yeah, the beers are really good. Basically is what I'm trying to say. So I highly recommend them. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of them left over still. And maybe depending on how often do we do these, maybe I'll just, I don't know, upload them singularly or do Twitch streams with these. Very, very good beers. So definitely check them out if you come across them. Now, ultimately, the thing that bums me out the most about this stuff is that once I'm done with them, it's going to be very hard to get a hold of them again. So hopefully I'll be able to find a way to get some of these guys shipped to me. So there's that.
So what are you paying for the monthly?
So the monthly box that comes with 6 beers is $60. All right. So obviously a little bit pricey, but just due to the fact that they are smaller breweries and stuff like that, I think it's kind of par for the course, you know? So that's a little expensive, but each individual beer, it comes from, based on what it is. It could be as low as $6 to $10 to, I think the highest one I saw was a $15, but that was like a barrel aged, Scotch aged drink, you know? So, so every beer is a different price. Like, it's a little bit expensive, but that's what you get when you get these style of beers and how small the breweries are. I imagine it's not very cheap to get these breweries all in one centralized location.
I mean, you figure you're going to pay between $6 and $8 for a craft beer at a brewery anyway.
Correct. Yeah. So, and it gets dropped off at your front door. So overall, the service, I'm pretty satisfied with it so far. Like I said, you could kind of go into the website or the app itself and give them your preferences. Like if you like hoppy beers, if you like sours, ciders, light beers, lighter beers, and like imperial stouts and all that, you can kind of select, and it'll kind of grab the beers that you want kind of collectively and kind of make a little box for you. So the box itself is like totally randomized. All right. And so it's kind of cool. Overall, I like it, and I think it's good stuff. So, that was my beer review. Like I said, Unapologetically Fruit and Yacht Zombie Apocalypse. Fucking fantastic.
Which one's the cherry apricot one?
The cherry apricot is called Unapologetic Fruit. So that's the cherry one. So it's all good stuff. Good beers. I'd recommend if you ever see them out and about. Like I said, it's going to be very difficult to find these again. So hopefully I could find some of these guys, the ones I like, to ship out to my house. Maybe. So there's that. Excellent. Let's keep moving.
What's next on the agenda? Let's do movies, TVs, and books. We got a little teaser of Halloween Kills, which is supposed to be this year's Halloween movie, a sequel to 2018's Halloween, which is phenomenal.
Yep.
Let's talk, Mr. Jake.
All right. So, like I said, it's a snippet. It's very limited in what it shows us, but I think it kind of hits the finer points. Basically, it's immediately following the events of the one from 2018, and it is Laurie with her daughter and her granddaughter in the back of that truck that they hitched a ride from. Laurie's bleeding profusely, and as they're driving away, the fire department seems to be heading to Laurie's house, and she's screaming. Everybody and her family members are screaming, "No, let it burn," because Michael is in the house. All right. And that's basically all we get. Now, the thing about this Halloween film, which was originally supposed to come out this year, unfortunately, due to everything that's happening, has been pushed back a year. So it will not be out this year. It'll be out actually next year, which is also what they announced with that little teaser. So that's a bummer. But from what I understand, it's completely in the can. And I think you mentioned it, and I saw this as well, that apparently this Halloween Kills is supposed to have the largest body count.
Yes.
Of any Halloween film. Because, which is kind of impressive. I don't know which one holds the record for that. Maybe I should look into that. But that's exciting, because I think as far as how the 2018 one, I think some of the kills were pretty fantastic.
Yeah, we're very much quality over quantity on this podcast, but I don't think we're bitch if we see some more gore.
Absolutely not. So, as a matter of fact, I think when it comes to the 2018 one, we saw a lot of the aftermath of the kills, but not a lot of the actual killing happening. But a lot of the remains of the victims in these movies were very violently disposed of, like the guy with the jaw that was like all broken and shit in the gas station, and the guy
and the fence one, man, the fence one.
Oh, I forgot to mention that one. Yeah, the fence one, and the dude who was stabbed to the wall. That was pretty sick. So there's some good kills in there. So I'm glad that that we were able to get a higher body count. Hopefully they get some quality kills in there because, like you said, usually we are quality over quantity in that regard. But I'm looking forward to it because, Gabe's going to give Danny McBride all the credit, but he did a great job. So here we are.
It was McBride and the team.
Absolutely. So I'm very, very much looking forward to this. And kind of sad, like I said, that we have to wait a year for the next Halloween film. But I'm excited. Let's keep it moving.
Let's rock and roll. Speaking about films that are films, I guess. Mulan.
Yeah, so Mulan is officially being moved to Disney Plus. The Mulan, the live action version, which I think you and I have both talked about kind of previously, how it kind of looks like the best live action adaptation thus far in the Disney's initiative to redo these films in a live action setting, is being added to Disney Plus, but it's not that simple. Unfortunately, they are adding an additional price tag to be able to watch Mulan on Disney Plus. And it's not even just that. It's the fact that price tag is basically $30.
So you're paying for 2 movie tickets, essentially.
Yeah. To watch Mulan on Disney Plus, which I think is absolutely ridiculous.
So they're making, if you buy it, they're making $45 off you that month, pretty much.
Yeah. And for me, I think it's a total ripoff.
I think that streaming has gotten to this weird point where they're comfy and they know people are going to cut their cable and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now they're seeing what they can get away with, especially the mouse, because the mouse is in everybody's pockets one way or another.
Yep.
And I just think it's kind of insulting. I mean, you're already paying the monthly, right? And if you're not paying, this should be a good incentive for you to be like, oh, well, I wanted to see Mulan. Here's my opportunity to, right?
Yes. And there's that. And also, I mean, I could kind of understand them wanting to recoup some of their losses when it comes to the movie.
I'm sorry, Disney posting losses?
Well, you know what I mean? But it obviously wouldn't have made as much money being released to stream as it would to go to the theater, So I understand the need to maybe want to charge a premium for that. But $38 is a lot. That is a lot of fucking money. That is not cheap in any way, shape, or form. And basically $30, you could go to fucking Best Buy and get a fucking good Blu-ray for $30.
I think for $30 you can get the Ultra HD, the black box one.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, the steel cover one and shit like that. Like, you can get a nice DVD Blu-ray for that. And just for you to rent it, quote unquote, it's too much. But like I said, I think $5 would have been a fair amount to pay, $10 tops. But that's a lot, man. I don't know what they're trying to get away with. Like you said, it's basically a night at the movie theater that you'll be paying for, essentially.
The mouse is horny for your wallet, man.
Yeah, I get it, but fuck, man. I mean, now is not the time to to be trying to pull shit like that, especially with everything going on. They feel like you said, maybe because they're sitting at home and people want to go see it. So let's try to see what we can get out of them. But when it comes to what's the word I'm looking for? Unsavory business practices. Right now, everybody has a lot of time on their hands and will have no problem writing a blog post about how ridiculous that is. Because I saw a lot of uproar about it myself on Facebook and all that. So I think it's a little bit ridiculous. So there's that.
Heresy.
What'd you say?
I said it's heresy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty sick. So any other thoughts on that, guys?
No, I think that's it. Pretty light on the movie talk. But theaters are slowly starting to come back around. Not AMC's, your local ones. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, we also see the reemergence of fucking drive-thrus or drive-ins. So
there used to be one where the Haunted Trails is by my house.
Yeah.
They tore it down.
Yeah, I thought you mentioned that. Yeah, right now they're doing one at Toyota Park. Everybody's got one. So I think Soldier Field's going to be opening up one. They're popping up everywhere. So the thing about that though is I don't know if I would want to see a new movie in a drive-in. I don't know if I
feel something like Jurassic Park would be a lot of fun.
Jurassic Park would be cool, like Grease or something like that. That would be cool at a fucking drive-in. But I wouldn't really want to see something new at a drive-in. But they're not really doing that. They're doing like re-releases, Ferris Bueller, shit like that. So it's very, very cool. Now let's go ahead and move over to the gaming conversation. All right, FarCry 6 leak. What do we know about this?
Well, actually, when I put this topic on the agenda, there was leaks of it that some website, I believe Chinese Amazon, leaked it, blah blah blah. But since then, they've done like a full
reveal.
A full reveal.
Mm-hmm.
So Far Cry 6 is out. Greg, this is more in your wheelhouse, isn't it?
I busted through a couple of the Far Cries, yeah.
So what do you think of Far Cry 6?
Yeah, how you feeling about
it? So
what's the premise? Because I actually don't know.
The premise, I mean, like all I saw was that leak which looks like, obviously you're in some sort of South American country, and you have the El Presidente who has his forces, and then you have the rioters that are kind of uprising against him. I mean, that's so far what I've got with the plot with that, but there's some speculations going on that since it's like there's a younger kid involved, some people are saying that this is going to show kind of like the upbringing of Voss, which was the original kid from the original antagonist, right? The antagonist, yeah, from Far Cry 3. Yes,
yeah,
because that could be his dad, and then we have Voss, which yeah. So there's that coming on. I could definitely see the correlation that they're getting from that. So if that actually ends up being the case, I think that'd be phenomenal. It would tie up a lot of like loose ends, especially with the whole, Far Cry 3 and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, like, there's obviously some uproar. Well, I wouldn't say uproar, but some people are like, oh, it's just another Far Cry game. It's going to be the same shit over and over again. And it's just like, let's make who cares?
I don't even think that's fair, though, because I don't think Far Cries don't come out nearly as often as like an Assassin's Creed used to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's even a fair kind of thing to say about it. Because Far Cry, like, and I know people have like mixed feelings about like the last couple, but overall, I don't think the major complaint was that it's a bad game. I think the complaints are about the story and whatnot, kind of being loose and whatnot. Yeah. But the games are well built. Like, there's nothing wrong about the Far Cry and the way they do their games.
Yeah,
I really, really liked Far Cry 3. You played it too, Greg?
Yeah, so I mean, I was gonna say that like with the Far Cries, Ubisoft, all they've been doing is just, like basically improving. I mean, like Far Cry 3 to 4 was a pretty decent jump.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do with Far Cry 4. That's one of the main staple games like that stand out to me out of all of them. Like that, that's where they kind of brought in a lot of things. Primal took a little bit of a step back.
But it was different. Like they took it.
It was different, but they didn't really address a lot of issues of like you feel pretty empty in that whole world. The whole subclass tree with the different characters that you had was quite tedious, and it was essentially the whole game was essentially a big old grind. Like as much as I enjoyed Primal, I think the one thing that I pretty much liked about it was the fact that you could tame like a bunch of these animals. Like that's kind of like the main like fun that I had out of it, just going around hunting down all these like like saber-tooths and whatnot, and just kind of having them as a pet. But then after that, 5 came out, which was like a pretty big step up. From what I've seen, I haven't actually touched 5. I did buy it recently though. But I did play New Dawn, and New Dawn was hella fun, like with the whole upgrading your base and whatnot, and just like the scenery was fun. It was beautiful. The companion that you had around you, like I liked how you can switch off like different companions. Like they weren't just animals. I mean, they could be animals. Yeah, like I think like a boar and a dog and shit. But yeah, they like all I've been seeing is improvements and improvements. So I think with 6, like they're probably obviously it's going to be way better than 5 in my opinion. I mean that's very like up there in the air now because we haven't seen much about it. But I'm pretty excited, and a new Far Cry title is always welcome on my turf.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not even just that, but apparently they got some heavy duty players when it comes to the voice acting and modeling. Giancarlo Esposito is supposed to be the dictator. For those who don't know, he was the guy who played Gus in Breaking Bad. And he was the general's name in what's it called? The Mandalorian. I forget his name offhand. But he's playing the father. Anthony Gonzalez, who is the son, was the kid who played Miguel from Coco. So they got some legitimate voice actors on this too, and it looks pretty interesting. I pulled it up on Wikipedia. That's what the people on the stream are seeing. But yeah, it looks cool. I got nothing against it. Like you said, man, Far Cry always improves a little bit. They're not just copy and pasting every single year. They bring something new to the table every single time. It is coming out in February 21st of next year, and I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, hopefully, since this is set in like some sort of like a South American city, I kind of hope they kind of focus on the more urban like density of it, because a lot of the other Far Cry games, I mean, the other one was set in like Montana or something like that, mountainous and a lot of forests and stuff. But what I really want to see is more like cityscapes and all that stuff. So South America, I'm kind of thinking like maybe there might be some favelas in there. I don't know. I think that'd be a little bit more interesting than kind of just forests and such. But the vegetation is decent too. So.
It's actually going to be Cuba. They're inspired off Cuba, so
Cuba. That makes sense.
There should definitely see some like Havana styled environments. So that'd be cool. Absolutely. So Far Cry, we're definitely looking forward to it. That's going to be on my list as well. Speaking of games that kind of popped up out of nowhere that I have enjoyed, let's talk about Road Company. So Road Company is Hi-Rez's newest jam. Hi-Rez are the guys behind Smite and Paladins, and they have released their own third-person shooter, kind of in the styles of slightly in the styles of Gears of War, with the hero mechanic of something like a Siege or I guess Overwatch, and a little bit of Counter-Strike influence in there. And it is a 5v5, right? Yeah, 4v4 style of game. And you obviously select your hero, and you get to upgrade your weapons throughout. Every hero has like a preset weapons that they could choose from, and you play against each other. They have, like I said, like a search and destroy style game mode, and they also have kind of a King of the Hill style game mode as well that I've been playing, and I have quite enjoyed it. I've streamed it a couple of times here on Twitch, and I'm having fun so far. There really isn't a complaint that I have about it. I think as time moves on, I think it's only going to get better. I am highly intrigued with the current product. And now, right now, it is a closed beta, I believe, still. So you would have to pay to get in. But I know the intentions are for it to become a free-to-play, like in the style of Smite and stuff like that. So that is coming for the general public soon enough. I would highly recommend it. Have you guys seen anything about this?
There's a little bit of gameplay from, I believe it was a YouTuber called Mr. Fruit, but
Okay.
I don't know, it seems kind of fun. Once it's out of open beta, or I guess because is it currently in open beta, or is it you need like a code and shit?
You need a code, yeah. You need
Yeah. Well, I guess once like that whole process gets over it, I'm definitely gonna check it out, and then we can all squad up.
Absolutely, it's cross-play on obviously all of the consoles and PC as well, so we could actually link up.
Yeah, I appreciate the newer titles. With multiplayer, they're all introducing crossplay, which is always like good times.
Absolutely. So I'm glad, and hopefully I could get you guys on board when the game opens up to the public. And it's very, very cool. So I would recommend this 100%. So definitely check out Rogue Company if you get the chance. Speaking of games, we're keeping it moving. Ghost of Tsushima is out. Okay. I am also playing through this on Twitch. Now, unfortunately, I haven't really got the opportunity to play as much time into it as I would like to, due to my work schedule kind of getting fucked around a little bit. So what I have played so far, Ghost of Tsushima is obviously a game that is based on Japan. It's probably somewhere near like the 1300s or so, where the Mongols have invaded Japan. And basically, within the first couple of minutes of the game, the fight's over. Like the samurai lost, and the Mongols are slowly taking over this island in Japan known as Tsushima. And with that being said, there's a lot of gameplay elements here that I am very, very fond of. All right. Once you start playing the game, you kind of feel like the mechanics for the combat are kind of thin. Like that's your initial impression. But honestly, it opens up like heavily throughout the gameplay, especially where I've gotten so far, where I've locked on different stances and stuff, and the stances kind of you choose different stances for different style of enemy. So like a shielded guy, you choose this stance. For a sworded enemy, you choose this stance, et cetera, et cetera. And you kind of once you kind of get the hang of it, you're able to chain again your stances with the type of enemy that you're fighting, and you're able to fight large groups of people all at once. And it is very satisfying. All right. It's styled, obviously, kind of those old school samurai films that you may see. And the game itself, as far as the environments, are just beautiful, man. Like they did such an excellent job of the environments, because you're like, you could be riding on your horse, you're just like, whoa, that's fucking cool, or that looks really cool. And they did a great job with that. Now, unfortunately, with that being said, as far as some of the facial animation of some of these characters, not great. All right. And I feel like they put a large part of their budget to how the environments look and how they sounded. And then they started to run out of budget. They're like, oh, fuck, we still got to do faces. So that's kind of what it felt like to me. But overall, so far, I am enjoying it quite a bit. You're able to customize your character quite a bit. different hats, different armor. Armors do different things. All armors are different. You're able to unlock mythic tails, which kind of the higher quality armor and stuff like that. Change the colors of these items, upgrade your swords, all that, bow and arrow, all that. All right, so plenty of growth, learning it still, but I'm really, really quite enjoying myself. And honestly, where I'm at right now, the last podcast that we did, I talked about The Last of Us. Honestly, I kind of like this game a little bit more right now. So hopefully we'll see what happens. The story's pretty good too. But right now I just have a ton of fun with the combat. Like every time I come across a Mongol guard, I'm gonna fucking fight them, and you do standoff and super cinematic and all that kinds of stuff. So this is Sucker Punch. These are the same guys who I believe did an Infamous. All right, so these guys know what they're doing, and overall, I'm quite enjoying myself. I don't have a grade for it quite yet because I haven't finished it, and obviously the story hasn't really gotten anywhere because I'm just so busy doing side quests. It is an open world game, and like half of the content is side quests. So I've been fucking around with that a little bit. But I would definitely recommend it for the people and who have the PlayStation. So definitely check it out.
Very cool beans. Somebody put Suicide Squad on here. What's going on with this?
Suicide Squad. So they have a game that is coming out, being made by WB. I think somebody in Rocksteady was involved in this, and it's going to be a Suicide Squad versus Justice League game. All right. And I haven't heard much more than that. I guess it's announced. I haven't heard much more than that, but I just wanted to know, you guys have any interested in playing a Suicide Squad game, or has that ship kind of sailed through you guys?
I haven't even watched the first movie, and I'm not really interested. So I don't know. I'll maybe look at some gameplay. I mean, the only other game that was kind of a spin-off that I actually played was like it was like a Warner Brothers title. I forgot what it was called. It was like I think Gotham City Imposters. That's what it was.
That game was fucking cool.
Yeah. That was the last like kind of spin-off type title that I've actually like. I mean, I don't know if this is technically labeled as a spin-off from all that stuff, but I don't know. Like, I'll probably check out the gameplay if it's something like that. Then I might pick it up. Otherwise,
Gotham City Imposters. Wow, I totally forgot about that game. Holy shit, that's a deep cut. How about you, Gabe?
Spin-off games?
Spin-off game, or just in general? How do you feel about the game?
I care not about Suicide Squad.
Okay.
They have a tabletop RPG format coming out for the Hellboy series. I'm looking for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be like, how do I explain this? The heathens who have never thrown dice. It's like D&D, but a different gaming format, a different character creation, different rules, but it's very much a role-playing game.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. That's not out quite yet.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude, you caught me with my pants down on this spin-off game stuff. I'm sure there's a couple that I quite enjoyed. I like the movie tie-in games for some of the Star Wars ones were pretty tight, but
did you like which one would you put like as far as the tie-in games? Because for the most part they're trash, right? But
the episode 3 Revenge of the Sith was awesome.
Yeah, I played that
fighter, phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had like you could like a multiplayer, like choose your own like Jedi type of situation, and there's this glitch on the PS2 version of the game where if you played as Grievous, he had the gun for the ranged attack, and while the intro animations are playing, you could hit the trigger and hit the other player before the fight even started. That was my cheap trick.
Breaking.
Yeah, Gabe with the cheap tricks. Obviously Spider-Man, that Spider-Man for the first movie, the Raimi movie, that was really, really good too.
The Amazing Spider-Man, the game, from like 2002, like the comic cell shaded style one, was fucking phenomenal. Okay, cool. All right, well, yeah, so that's coming out. Obviously we'll have more opinion on it when we get going, but I actually did not put this on here. Who's this? This is me. So Cyberfunk Bomb Rush. If you've spoken to me for more than 10 minutes, you know that one of my all-time favorite games is Jet Set Radio Future. Yep. And so for the longest time, fans have been asking for a remaster, a remake, a sequel. We'll take anything we can get at this point, right? Just port it over to the Switch or something, right? And so none of that ever happened because Sega are very picky with what properties they let die. And it just hasn't been Sonic yet. I don't understand why. Anyway, so Cyberfunk Bomb Rush is a game developed by Team Reptile that is essentially a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio Future. And the main music producer, composer, director is the same dude from Jet Set Radio. So I'm super excited.
Okay. Nice.
Okay. So, do we have a date on this yet or no?
No date, but you can add it to your wish list on Steam at the moment, and I believe it's getting an Xbox release as well as a PC release. I converted Greg because we did an episode of Exploration on Jet Set Radio, so when I showed him, I think we were both pretty excited for this.
Yeah, I'm gonna add it to my wish list. I didn't know it was up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I pulled it up on Google, and it looks like they have like a trailer out for it.
It's like a 15-20 second snippet, but man, is it so good.
Okay, very, very, very cool. All right, cool. I'm glad that's coming out. Who played Destroy All Humans here?
Me.
Well, I think we all did, right? But not the remake.
Yeah, not the remake. Go ahead.
So I wanted to put because I've been like I just beat Destroy All Humans like the remake yesterday, and I had to get the remake because Destroy All Humans the original was like definitely part of my childhood.
For sure.
And honestly, like in my opinion, this is a pretty good remake. Obviously, with like a lot of these remakes that are coming up there, a lot of the developers, they tend to keep a lot of the core elements, but obviously throw in their own little tidbits here and there. Which obviously, I gotta stop saying obviously. So
obviously,
obviously, this is present in this remake, and I think it's still overall fun game. I played it through yesterday. Kept a lot of the core elements, and it was a nice little break from the typical first-person shooters that we kind of been playing like in today's, I guess, time frame. And it kept, like the voice, like the little, what's it called? I'm blanking out right now. What is that stuff called when it's like you make fun of something that's part of like reality. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait, what?
Like you make fun of something that's part of reality, where it's like
parody.
Yeah, parody. The parodiness of the 1950s America is pretty present in this game. You got to talk about communism and whatnot. They kept a lot of the things the same. PK, unfortunately, which is like the psychokinesis where you can pick up objects, is a little bit nerfed right now. But they added in their own thing called skate, where you kind of just like fly around and destroy things. It's a lot easier than just running around. And yeah, it still kept it to the core elements and a phenomenal remake. I don't know about replayability wise because I did bust through it and I'm not really seeing myself like replaying it how I used to back in the day. But they still open up a lot of the missions that you can play through in the archives as well as revisit areas that you already completed the missions in.
Yep.
So there is definitely a replay value in there, but I kind of want to see a little bit more done, I guess, like DLC wise, maybe like some new things added on. But overall, a pretty good remake. Still kept the core elements of the game, and it's Destroy All Humans where you can just fuck around. And good break from the current FPSs right now. A lot of funny lines. Still being able to Cortex scan humans and hearing their thoughts, and they kept all the original voice lines in there. And who the hell doesn't want to run around as in an alien in a flying saucer?
Yeah,
and
it's pretty
just
cool.
Destroy shit, Unfortunately, the flying saucer, at least on my PC, it kind of, I don't want to say lagged, but there was a lot of rubber banding going on. So I don't know if there's like some optimizing issues going on with like PC, and I think on PS4 too. A lot of people have been reporting that the game, when they boot it up, it makes their PlayStation, take off like other higher like great titles. So I don't know if they're gonna like optimize it later on, but I mean, THQ Nordic, in my opinion, knocked it out of the park with this remake, and I definitely want to see them do Destroy All Humans 2 because out of the whole series, Destroy All Humans 2 is definitely my favorite. But yeah, overall, pretty good remake.
Cool, man. Yeah, it's definitely on my short list right now. I want to get to it, and I'm glad. Like I feel like this release kind of snuck up on us. I feel like I didn't hear nothing about it for like a long time because I knew it was coming. Me and Gabe covered it on the podcast a long time ago, and then suddenly it's like, oh yeah, Destroy All Humans coming out tomorrow. I'm like, really? I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah,
Shit.
I think they had a showcase in E3 where they played through the first mission where you're just kind of fucking around with cows and just destroying the whole farm. But yeah, no, like the level design is like decent. Not that many like glitches, but obviously there's going to be glitches here and there. And then they added in those optional side objectives where if you complete all of them, you can unlock skins, and the upgrading system's still there for your crypto and your flying saucer. And once you upgrade that Zap-O-Matic that everybody loves, then that thing just pretty much shreds through anybody. But like I said, like unfortunately the telekinesis kind of got nerfed because I remember you used to be able to pick up tanks and just whip them and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess they wanted to add in skate with like it's like you dash and then you just kind of like fly around. It's like a hoverboard skateboard type thing. But I mean, it's still fun. Like it totally brought me back to like 2000. When did the first one come out? Like 05?
Yeah, 06, 05. That sounds about right to me.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Like that totally threw me like way back. Like I totally felt younger again. But yeah, it's a phenomenal remake, and seeing Crypto in HD and all that shit was like awesome.
Yeah, man, 2005. So, yeah, man, this is, like I said, it is on my list. It looks like it's a ton of fun. And I was telling my wife, I'm like, I can't believe it popped up. I really want to play it. I'm definitely going to stream it because it's definitely one of those games that I think will be worth the laugh, you know? And yeah, so Destroy All Humans looks fantastic. Can't wait to get my hands on it. Gabe, you literally just added something.
Yeah, my
Let's
Ninja Diffuse. So Tony Hawk's Pro Skater remake, and I was debating on putting this on gaming or music. So they added new tracks to the remake that's coming out September 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Before I get into what they added, how do we feel about this?
It's expected.
Are you talking about like new tracks as in like not a part of the original?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, shit, more music, welcome. I mean, yeah, the original soundtrack's banging, but you know, if there's something,
wasn't there only like 15 songs on that soundtrack?
Yeah, if there's not that many songs, you know, you kind of get a little bit. I guess I won't say bored, but you'd be like, oh yeah, this banger again.
Do you guys feel like it's destroying a bit of history, though?
I mean, because they're adding new skaters too, though. So no.
Yeah, I mean, like I said with Destroy All Humans, like when it comes to remakes, like a lot of the developers, they tend to keep the core elements, but they always add in their own little take to it. So, you know, I mean, as far as I know with remakes, I haven't really seen a remake that's actually true to the core, where it's just literally the same copy paste game, just updated graphics. Like, you know, there's always going to be something new added in.
Yeah, there's always differences, always.
Cool. I have the full list up here. I'm just going to rattle off a couple of new artists they added on here. A Tribe Called Quest, always welcome.
Absolutely.
American Nightmare, Baker Boy, Billy Talent. We have Charlie Brown Jr. We have Craig Feet Icy Black. We have Destroy Boys. We have Fiddlar. We have Less Than Jake. You can never have enough Less Than Jake.
You cannot. No.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay.
Why?
Some MXPX.
Okay.
Real Big Fish, which now I'm kind of like astounded that they weren't in the originals.
Yeah. You got a point there.
Yeah. Strung Out, Sublime, The Ataris, Tyrone Briggs, Viagra Boys, and Zebrahead. Some of the more notable ones on there.
Okay.
But there are 37 new songs being added to the remaster.
Viagra Boys. What's
and so a quick little tidbit about this game before we move on to music. So if you pre-order it, you will get the warehouse demo next week, August 14th, and the full game drops on September 4th.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I may have to grab that. I think it'd be fun.
Is it going for the full 60?
I thought I heard against it. I thought I was going for 40. I thought I heard
40 as well. Let me just double check that really quick before we.
Yeah, I'm on.
It's going to be 80 because fuck you guys. It is indeed $40.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Perfect.
40.
Is it 80?
Whoa.
There's a collector's edition for $100 that comes with a skateboard.
What brand or make?
A Birdhouse.
Oh.
Actually, I lied. It's a mini fingerboard. You're getting a tech deck.
Oh, that's bullshit.
That's even better, bro. I can take a shit in the stall and just, you know, do a kickflip off a dude's toe.
So you get the game.
Okay.
You get the well, see, now it's weird because it's saying you get the full sized board too. Yeah, because the picture says mini fingerboard, but the description says full size Birdhouse skateboard deck. Maybe the deck is the full size one, and you get a tech deck.
Huh.
So maybe you get both.
That's interesting.
And then you get some digital deluxe edition content. So I'm assuming like a download of the soundtrack and maybe some other stuff. I don't know if they're planning to do DLC, but
fucking just throw in the fucking the thug levels and I'm sold.
$100 for these two games and a deck isn't bad at all. Actually,
I wouldn't say so. No, I would think that's pretty fair.
I'd imagine you'd pay in the realm of. Well, I skated Mini Logo for the longest, and their boards were $30 back in the day. But like a pro labeled board, you'd probably be spending $60 to $75.
Yeah, that's without
for the deck. For the deck, yeah.
That's without the setup and all that. Yeah, man, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. Do we know if this is crossplay at all?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Let me look it up real quick.
It'd be fun to play horse against you guys, though. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
A little tidbit back to the collector's edition. So the collector's edition, you get the full size board, but you get the tech deck if you pre-order at GameStop. So I think it's one of those GameStop exclusives.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cross-platform.
So I've been in the market for a new tech deck, so this might be the move.
Okay, so it's not going to be cross-play at launch, but they might add it later. depending how well it does. I'm assuming. So that sucks. But yeah.
But I mean, if it sells well enough, man, like I said, they're resaturating the market with the stuff we grew up on. Like you know, everybody in like if we're being super like lenient here, everybody from like 20 to like 35 is going to go out and like buy this.
Probably, yeah, for sure.
Gojira already has this.
And it's not even the only skate game out. Skate XL came out a couple weeks ago.
You know, we talked about reviving the genre.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly we weren't the only ones with that thought. I still stand by my idea that half the fun of skating is finding a new spot and videography and photography behind that. But I guess we'll have to see how that idea would sell, right? Because you never know. People might fucking hate it.
Yeah, so I plan on playing Skate XL too. I'm going to put that on my short list because I think it's not full price either. So Skate XL, expect that to be talked about soon enough with me. But yeah, man, I'm glad that these things are coming back. Obviously, I'm very excited for the Pro Skater remakes. I think it's going to be kind of cool. So, all righty, let's go ahead and get into the big boy.
Let's dive into music news and reviews. So my first thing that I put on here, a band called SHVPES calls it quits. SHVPES. And I think they popped up on our radar a couple times. I did an album review, and I know they were a couple singles of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they just said that we want to go our separate ways. The band has run its course, and it was a very like amicable split amongst them. And I mean, I get it. I totally understand. You know, you and I have always been of the mentality that feed your family first. You know, and if you're pretty much if you're not like a B+, A+ tier band, you're kind of just coasting. You know, you're taking out loans and stuff and just kind of working on it. And I mentioned this to somebody the other day, but Garrett from Silent Planet was telling me how he took like an $8,000. Well, the band did. They took an $8,000 loan for like a shirt run, and they're like, yeah, this is why we always make sure that like our merch is fucking awesome, so people buy it, so we pay back the loan. Because if you don't, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So they called it quits. It's rather unfortunate. I always thought it was a fun blend of like The Used and like Let Live and stuff like that. The vocalist had a very like Burt McCracken cackle and kind of that insanity in his voice. But SHVPES, you will be missed, man. Guys, I should say thank you for the lovely 5 years, and I'm kind of looking forward to see if any of them branch out and do some other things.
All right, cool, excellent. I'm not super familiar, but yeah, sure, absolutely, sounds good.
So we are super late to this album review because we are lacking on music. The Ghost Inside, their self-titled review after 5 years, they came back with a full-length album. You and I kind of discussed this when we listened to it. It's not a bad album by any means. The musicianship is there. The I don't want to say technicality, but what you expect from The Ghost Inside, the heavy hammers, the rhythmic nature of these things. The Ghost Inside is one of the very few surviving veteran melodic hardcore bands from back in the day, and they do what they do. And like I said, by no means is this a bad album, but I was also not particularly impressed by anything on here. And that's kind of all I have to say about it, man. It was like a one and done for me, unfortunately, and I was kind of maybe I shot myself in the foot with my own kind of expectations. You know, you think that after what they went through and things like that this album would be album of the year, no contender. But that's kind of my thoughts on it, man. It didn't fall short in any places, but you know how I feel about things that are very average. They slide past, and I hate that they slide past.
Yeah, so I think you and I, like you said, share a lot of the same sentiment when it comes to the album. There's nothing bad on here. Everything is cool. But, and I understand the theming of it, but he repeated the line multiple times in multiple songs. Well, this is the brand new me. And I get it, like I said, because everything they went through was very traumatic, and obviously it is the brand new them. But I think I might have even told my wife, I'm like, you would think after all of that they would have more compelling things to say. You know, honestly, I think Dear Youth was a more emotionally,
emotionally charged album. Yeah,
emotionally deep album, and I think it's a little strange. I'm not sure what the disconnect here is, or maybe they were just happy just to do anything or release anything, and I don't know. Not a bad album, not at all. But like you said, it's very quickly flooding to the back of my mind, and I think I've maybe listened to it twice, and I'm like, okay, I'm moving on. You know what I mean? Some more exciting things. So I think it's a little sad, but I think it's more of a less of a progression forward with them lyrically, and musically, but more of like a love letter to their fans for thanks for sticking around. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
it was more of a tribute to themselves and their people, as opposed to. I mean, it is still new material at the end of the day, right? But it feels like we're maybe starting to plateau with this band.
Yeah, which is kind of sad. So,
and of course, it's just our opinion. You know, if you love the album, let us know. Tell us what you liked about it. Maybe we'll give it another listen. But
that's the thing, like, because usually when you see like as an example, like when Alien by Northland came out last year, everybody was still talking about it like 2 months after the fact, and I feel like nobody's talking about this.
I am still talking about Disposed by The Plot in You, and that was February 2018. You know that?
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe the next one will bring something different to the table. But overall, okay album, but it's a memory now. You know, so that's just us. All right, who's this?
Me. All right. So Year 0001, which is a Swedish record label and management company, they released a 22-track collection labeled Rift 1 that features sounds of, most of these tracks are pretty much like trance with the occasional like little switch up to rap, dubstep, and some pretty big like thumping house. A couple of my favorite artists that are on here are Blade, Young Lean, and Thai Boy Digital. And yeah, this album, it's not, like I said, it doesn't really have like a stagnant sound. It's just a bunch of these artists like coming together from all across the world. And a lot of this music, like this whole thing is pretty much like a whole banger. Like I pretty much threw this on while I was working and just blew through all 22 tracks in a decent notice. Like I said, a lot of the big names, Blade, Young Lean, Thai Boy are on here, but I did gain a couple other favorite ones like Missing No, Namasenda, and Darko. And yeah, like I said, a lot of these tracks are bangers. Pretty decent if you like kind of out there otherworldly music. Like I said, pretty decently heavy on the trance side of the genre. And I mean, if you ever check it out or purchase this, then we aren't really a political podcast, I guess. But all proceeds will be donated to community bail funds, mutual aid funds, and racial justice organizers. But you know, that shouldn't be like the main reason why you listen to this album, because overall this is a pretty decent collection of just various artists and sounds. So I definitely recommend checking it out.
Good. You know, Greg's been on the podcast long enough if he prefaces things with "we're not a political podcast."
I don't know if I should add that in there, but I was just like, I might as well.
Well, it's for a good cause.
Yeah, we add it for everything. All right, cool. Excellent. Still World. So Still World, these are my guys, right? My buddy Dan's band, Dan formerly from Shoot the Messenger. This is his project that he's been working on for quite a few years now. And Still World, they dropped a new EP called Dark Matters. I think it's 4 songs total. And my guy is a fucking G when it comes to writing good music, right? And all his stuff, I know he's like a very large part of the writing process for his band. And I'm super proud of this kid. All right. He actually has a really cool windbreaker that I'm planning on picking up.
Oh, yeah. The 4 pieces of merch they drop were absolutely killer.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those. But definitely check this out. All right. So they are very talented. Okay. No, have there be no doubt about that. All right. And I would definitely recommend, once the world opens back up, to grab a show, check them out, have a conversation with them, because I guarantee you will like them. You will like their music. You will like them as people. Totally genuine, and a fantastic killer EP, if you ask me. So definitely check out Still World Dark Matter EP. It is wonderful, and I had a good time listening to it. A lot of good tracks. All the tracks are good. There's no filler there. Definitely check it out.
We should ask Dan if we could just pick up those windbreakers so he doesn't have to ship them.
Right?
Save some money both ways.
Just drive out to Tinley Park. Hey, buddy.
I mean, he's fucking 10 minutes away from Greg.
True. All right. So, Gabe.
Sanction. So our boys, Sanction 631, back on Twitter. So congratulations.
I was about to say that.
They mentioned that they're in the writing process. So I'd imagine something maybe at the end of the year, maybe towards the beginning half of next year. I'm super excited. I mean, they dropped a full album, or was it an EP in 2018? And then they gave us the masterpiece that was the name is eluding me. Broken Refraction, which has been playing nonstop in my car in 2019. So these guys are absolutely steamrolling. This is like, if you want to talk about new bands I'm excited for fucking Sanction. I want to see the dirty, nasty, grimy, musty shit they come up with, and I need more of that Sanction snare. That thing keeps me up at night.
Hey, Gabe, were they on your top 5 last year?
They were not, and I revisited them, and they should have been.
Yes, they should have been.
So it's one of those things, man, where you just it not in the moment, but then you revisit it, But like, I still stand by stuff like Fever War. I still stand by stuff like The Plot in You. So, and we can't go back and redo it, but
true.
Maybe we should, because we're coming up on 5 years on the podcast in September. Maybe we should do a top 5 or top 10 like things we've reviewed.
You know what we should do? Not just that, but we should do like a top 5 things that we got like severely wrong. Like
a top 5 fuck yous, all the Star Wars reviews. No, I'm sorry, not the reviews, the predictions, because we wrote the movies.
Absolutely, we did stuff like that, or like maybe like you said stuff that was number 1, but in retrospect, maybe we were.
Yeah, if you could go back and edit your list, what would your list look like now?
Yeah, we should look into that because September's coming up, and that is the 5-year anniversary. So. Maybe it's something we should look into. Just kind of bringing back old topics and kind of be like, whoa, we were fucking wrong.
Maybe we should just order a large amount of B-dubs like that one night.
Right? So, yeah, man. I'm excited, man. Sanction was gigantic for me. And they don't really strike me as the type of people that take a ton of time to write a new album. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to imply that they're like the material isn't like excellent.
No, these guys are very passionate about what they do, and the quality shows. It's one of those things where bands like Slipknot take 4 or 5 years between albums to write. Correct. That's fine. They have 9 dudes. It's probably a nightmare organizing everything, right? But Sanction, they're young, they're dumb, and they're full of cum. Let's fucking keep on rocking and rolling, dude.
Whoa! Okay. So this next
musical cum.
Jesus Christ. All right. So the next thing, I actually just added this on this list because Evin Knotts is actually a buddy of mine. All right. He's a rapper from Chicago, obviously. He dropped an album called Skyline. All right. Now, usually I don't talk about rap a whole lot, right? Oh. It's not really my thing. So, but I gave this album a listen, and the guy, like, I haven't really listened to his music a whole lot prior to this, but the guy got fucking like flow. Like the dude could fucking rap his ass off. As my boy Kendall, he wrote some great songs here. He had a song called Vices that like literally, because I know what he was talking about when he was, when it comes to the song, that my heart bled for him. You know what I mean? So, Skyline, Evin Knotts, he is on Apple, he's on Spotify, he's on all of that. And the album's just, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful piece of music. And like I said, rap's not usually my thing. Usually I'm a hardcore kid myself, but
unless it's Slim Shady.
Well, yeah, there's that. But it is very well put together, very well produced. And you would think, because I know that, like I said, the dude's very homegrown, that you would think that there would be some level of edge to the production and maybe the quality. But no, man, this guy spared no expense on getting his things produced well. So definitely check out my boy, Evin Knotts, Skyline. Excellent album. It's wonderful, and I'm proud of him. Let's keep it moving.
All right. So If I Die First, a band comprising of Lil Lotus on vocals, Zubin on vocals and keyboard, Nedarb playing guitar and doing some singing, the drummer and bassist that did some work with Ghostmane, and I don't know if you guys will get a kick out of this, but Travis Richter from First to Last is actually playing guitar and is a backup screamer with them. They dropped an EP called My Poison Arms, and as much of a shit show as 2020 was, we are back in the roaring 20s. This whole EP definitely screams mallcore emo, has some nice touches, got some sound like that kind of sounds a little bit more like The Used, Taking Back Sunday, Since It's Fail, Drop Dead Gorgeous. But no, overall, phenomenal EP. Definitely check it out. My Poison Arms from If I Die First. Lil Lotus and Zubin definitely kill it with the vocals, and I definitely want to see more from these guys when they link up, which seems to be the premise, because from a little interview that Lil Lotus did, they seem to have a decent chemistry going on when writing songs and whatnot. They just kind of pop songs out of the ass. So yeah, like I said, definitely want to see more from these guys. Lil Lotus is definitely one of my favorite rappers, and I think Gabe's too, as well as Zubin. And we kind of have, Netarb's out there too. He's a good guy. But yeah, Lil Lotus, definitely one of my favorite rappers. So cool that he's actually branching out into like this like metalcore, post-hardcore, mallcore, emo type genres, and I think he fits the bill.
Yeah, I mean, I was always telling Jake that these people grew up on the shit we grew up on, and they're branching out. I dig it quite a bit. And fun little tidbit: Connie Scarbosa from See You Space Cowboy did the artwork for this album, or EP, I should say.
Yeah, I think If I Die First and See You Space Cowboy and another band, they're actually talking about a touring together. So.
Wrist Meet Razor.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So if they come through the Chicago, you'll definitely see me and Gabe up there.
What the fuck do you know about Drop Dead Gorgeous, Greg?
Some shit.
Okay.
Don't fucking test my knowledge right now.
I'm just saying, holy shnikes. That's a name I haven't heard in many a year. All right.
Funeral
cool.
for a friend, bro.
I mean, I know, but I'm just anyways. So we got some singles, and I only have comments about one of them because I've only heard one of them.
Cool.
So,
I'm gonna go bottom up. Blink-182 dropped a song called Quarantine. I actually quite like this a bit. This is kind of reigniting my interest for this band. And you know what I've said, man. Matt Skiba, the new vocalist, the stuff they write, like Off California, he can fucking nail it. You know, absolutely no problem. It's the older stuff that what's his face, Tom did. I just can't do it. And I think Quarantine's a really fun single. It's a very introspective view on kind of everything that's going on. It's very meta, I guess is the word for it.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I have to say about it. It's actually really good. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't think I would like that.
Sure.
Gojira, they dropped a single called Another World. Dude, these guys are the finger work, man. The fucking finger work. That's all I'm going to say. Whenever they drop something, I feel like technical is an understatement, and it's just wonderful. It's rhythmic and it's heavy on so many ways.
Okay.
BloodBather dropped a single called Void.
Yeah, man. Apparently they got a new vocalist. Didn't know that. But it's excellent. It's an excellent little track. They're wonderful.
Yeah, can we get BloodBather and Sanction on a set list supporting like counterparts?
Don't say things, Gabe, that you can't take back, okay?
Why? Because you know that's an awesome tour?
Yeah, because I just want to will that into reality at the moment, and I can't because the fucking world's still shut down, Gabe.
Yeah, and then have like counterparts and then have like Code Orange headline. There you go.
Fuck up.
And shut it down then, Jake. Go talk to the CEO of COVID and unshut down the world.
Oh, yeah. To unshut it down? Yeah. I'm going to have to work on that. I'm still waiting for him to email me back, send him something, but it is what it is. But so yeah, this is fantastic. So BloodBather, man, and it's just so sick. Like I said, I can't believe I didn't know that they got a new vocalist. I had no idea. So
Fit for a King. This is the kind of controversial one today. They dropped a song called Locked in My Head, which is a bit softer than what they're used to doing. I like it a lot. I quite like it, but the internet seems to fucking hate it.
God damn it, internet.
Everybody's saying that they're pulling a wage war, and I understand kind of the meme behind it, but there's a big difference here, man. Like, this Fit for a King single is very carefully crafted. I think they're very proud of it, and Ryan Kirby is on the front lines fucking defending this. Him and his wife are both defending this.
Oh no.
And I love it, man. And it's one of those things where bands change, people change over time, man. You don't have to love all their new stuff to appreciate it, but it is what it is at the end of the day. And they dropped a dad hat that says "Make Fit for a King heavy again."
Oh my goodness.
As like a joke. And I think it's hilarious that they're taking this kind of criticism and turning it around into something positive. But I do like it. Check it out, man. Fit for a King, doing some exciting stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard it. But I'm kind of out of the Fit for King bandwagon at the moment. I don't know why. I just whatever. Like it's like when it comes to because you and I talked about the whole wage war thing. I found their lighter stuff more interesting than the fucking heavy stuff. But anyways, so yeah, those were the singles. Hashtag or formerly bangers of the week. But you know it's like once a month now. But it is what it is. But that's it. Alrighty. Thank you guys for joining us here on the Second City Kids podcast. We will see you guys hopefully soon for episode 161.
161.
Yes.
And all that good stuff. So you guys know the whole deal. You know, follow us. You know, all that, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. We are everywhere. Yeah, we're everywhere podcasts can be found. So check us out there. I live stream on Twitch pretty regularly, and I plan on doing that a lot more these days. So yeah, that is the podcast. And thank you guys for joining us. And until next time, signing out. Deuces. Thank you guys for joining us this week on the Second City Kids podcast. You can like us on iTunes, Google, anywhere else podcasts are found. Any comments, questions, or concern, you can email us at secondcitykids@gmail.com. Until next week, folks, deuces.